So, so here we are starting up. So, to the basics of the computer network.
Okay.
See, in the basics of a computer networking, we have three types of tier architecture. That is tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Okay. So what is the difference between these three tier architectures? So if you take the tier 1, okay. Now say for an example, I have a machine A. Okay. I have a
Mm-hmm.
machine A and I have a machine B. Okay. Now these cannot able to communicate. These cannot able to communicate with each other. That is, we can say this machine will be acting as a standalone,
Mm-hmm.
and this machine B also will be acting as a standalone. So there is no communication. There will be no communication between the system A and system B. So a networking connection will not be there. So that is no network. So that there is no networking between this machine A and machine B. Hence, it will be a standalone. In tier 2 architecture, if you take the tier 2 architecture, here we can able to see the same. Okay, say for an example, I can show you by this. Okay. Okay. Guys, you can see that. So in the tier 2 architecture, so here in the tier 2 architecture, I am having some more than one machine. Assume that in the tier 2 architecture, I am having more than one machine. So machine A is connecting with machine B, and machine B is connecting with machine C. So now all these three machines are interconnected. All these three machines are interconnected. So interconnected means, so A will send a file to B and B will send a file to C. So this will be in a round robin method where each and every machine can able to communicate with the other machine. So that will be the part of the tier 2 architecture.
Yeah, there is no connection between A and C, right, sir?
So there is a connection here. You can able to see the difference between tier 1 and tier 2.
Yeah, at tier 1 there is no connection, but
Yes.
tier 2, machine A connecting to B, but machine A is not connecting to machine C, right?
Okay, it's a good question, but it's getting connected. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
guys, you can see, okay, for the tier 1 architecture, okay, for the tier 1 architecture, you can say and a machine with a standard, that is on a single machine A. Okay, a single machine A is not able to connect with the any networks. So you cannot able to connect by with B, you cannot able to connect with the C, or it cannot able to connect with any other machine. That is in the tier 1 architecture. In the tier 2 architecture, we will be having something like more than one machine. Okay, assume by this. So now here, this machine is called as a server. This is called as a client 1, say for example client 2, client 3. So when server is able to communicate with all these three, that is with the network. So now server can able to speak with the C1, can be able to speak with C2, and also can able to speak with C3. Okay, so that is here with the networking. So here we can see this is without networking, and this is with networking. Okay, and here the main concept here is this the one which is on the top. This is called as server. Okay, and this is called as a client. So can you guys tell me what in a generic term? So what is the difference between a server and a client?
Server is the main source for all the storage and all. Like, and clients are different. So
Okay.
each one of the company or some other clients, the three are different clients, right? So they don't share each of data.
Okay. Okay.
So the server can have all the three data, but even though the like client two share the data, it won't uh, share with client one, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So what you have said is exactly correct. As per the server and the client concept. Adding to your points, see here, this is a single network. Okay, this is a single network. Say for an example, I have this single network in finance. Okay, now
Okay.
here the server will be having a control. The server will be having a control over this client missions. So how whether C1 is to whether C1 wants to communicate with C2? Yes, server can decide that. So server is deciding that in other way. C1 should not connect with here. C1 should not
Yeah.
connect. C1 should not connect with C3. So that
Yeah.
can be done by a server. Okay, the
Okay.
server is something
Yeah.
like again what we can say, and a father in a family. So he is the deciding
Yeah.
authority. What needs to be done and what need not be done. Okay,
Okay.
so the server will be having the control for this. If you take the tier 3 architecture, okay, now
Okay.
looking at the tier 3 architecture. See, in the tier 3 architecture, here again, same as like that, here we will be having the clients. Okay, that is many clients here, which is
Mm.
accessing the machines. And here we will be having something called as middleware application. Okay, the middleware. Okay, middleware. And
Okay.
here we have the what is that? DB. Okay, we have the DB here.
The database.
Yes, yes, DB is database. Now, see, we are having a specification in our laptops. Okay, in our laptops are also something like the size of, say, for example, 1 TB, 16
Yeah.
GB of RAM, and the
Yeah.
processor is i7, and the speed we can say 2.2 gigahertz, something like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
and to handle our data. To handle our data means, so probably what we will be using it, we will be using a normal OS called Windows 10, and
Mm.
we will be working on with some application like VLC, Windows, Photoshop, okay,
Yeah.
the MS Word, MS PowerPoint, something like that, okay. So
Mm.
all this maximum will go to something as an 8 GB of usage of RAM,
Yeah.
right? And if you take the memory, it will be taking as the 2.4 gigahertz. See again here I'm having 8 GB of RAM free, and again I'm having in the processor usage 1 GB as free. isn't it? So here
Yeah.
I'm having 1 GB as free. Now my question is, I am making my laptop. Okay, I am making my mission. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I am making my mission where to the public network. Public network means like say like for 1 hour, within 1 hour, 1 million requests are coming in. 1 million requests are coming into my mission.
Laptop.
So now
Mm.
my mission should be in a position to withstand to or to what that to handle
All.
all those transactions. See, consider
Yes.
what will happen when we are having an IRCTC open at 10 a.m. during a Taka
Mm.
time.
Mm.
The server, the application will go down.
Yes.
Everyone will not access with the same and a good response time. Okay.
Yes.
So for example, you can take the IRCTC. Okay. Consider the
Yes.
e-commerce websites, the Flipkart. Consider the e-commerce website, the Flipkart, and what else we have. Uh, okay, let's take Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you consider these two, okay, whatever the transaction numbers may be, okay, there will be no delay, isn't it? There will be no delay in the Flipkart and the Facebook. But
Mm.
if we access the IRCTC when we are accessing at the same time, that is during a 10 a.m., there will be a big delay.
Yes.
The reason is the server has not been built up with a performance oriented. So how we can able
Mm.
to build up a server with a performance oriented? So when it is a large network, when it is a large network, say I have these kind of 1 million of clients, okay,
Mm.
and where they are accessing a large data. So you can say what kind of data which will be available in the Flipkart, right? There will be many
Mm.
products.
Yeah.
It's a very good GUI interface, that is the front
Mm.
end, and there will be in back end also will be there. So if you take
Mm.
the front end, okay, if you take the front end, what can be the languages?
Front end.
Yeah, in front end.
So basically, the interface will be there mostly, like
Yeah,
accessing the tickets and reservations, seat
okay,
bookings or something.
correct. So in the front
Yeah.
end design, the front end design I can say it can be a Java or a
Java.
.NET
Yeah.
or a PHP or a VB scripting. So many things like this many things. And what is the
Mm.
backend language can be? The backend language can be I can say the Oracle PL SQL,
Yeah. Database. Mm.
okay, and MS SQL
Okay.
and NoSQL. So again there are many PostgreSQL many things are there. Okay,
Mm.
and the DB part. Okay, see we will be using the backend coding. We will be using the backend coding to pull the data from the DB. To pull the data from
Yeah.
the DB. So DB can be an Oracle again, or what is that? MySQL or something like an Red Brick. So any DB could be there. See, this is for. See, this DB is to only access the data. Okay, only data. So the logics everything will be there. Okay, the logics everything will be there within the middleware. Okay, within the middleware application. Okay,
Mm.
so the middleware application here is nothing but, so when we have a large data, so can we able to install all these things in our laptop, and can we make our
Mm.
laptop to be accessed by the million of people, or to make a
No.
million of transaction? No, not at all possible.
No. No.
So we need a big setup. See, something like arranging a party within our home with 10 people or 20 people. It will be very easy, right? So only two
Mm.
organizers can be there, or even with one organizer we can able to do. So I think that you are conducting an function with 10,000 lakhs of people.
Mm.
So you need a big administration team. You need a big hospitality. Everything will be in big in size. So handling that is a very tough one. So we need some extra elements to handle that. So something like that here to to accept the many requesters. Here we are as per the technical term. Okay, here we are going for a middleware application. We are going for a front end. We are going for a back end, and we are going also for the DB. So all these together, we can say this is in the tier 3 architecture. So the tier 3 architecture will be involving the middleware applications, the DB, the front end and the back end. So the front end and the back end software will be installed on the middleware applications. Okay. So can you say what are the middleware applications available in the market right now? Just for your knowledge, what are the middleware applications?
So from this information, I can say Python is also like
No,
uh,
Python is an
front end.
scripting, yeah. Python, you can say
Mm-hmm.
Python. I can say Python, Perl scripting,
Perl scripting, yeah.
Ruby, okay, and shell scripting. See, these are the programming languages.
Okay.
So what is there in the middleware? Okay, so let me tell you. See, the middleware application,
HCF, WebLogic.
the middleware application which is available so far. Okay, I can say Oracle WebLogic. Okay, and we can say IBM WebSphere. Okay, and we can say Apache Tomcat. Okay, and what else we have? From Red Hat also we have Red Hat JBoss.
Oh,
Okay, so these are the middleware applications which is available in the market. Okay, so in this middleware application they will be installing the front end, back end, and everything like instances. So even we can say the AWS. AWS
yes,
is one of
yes.
the
Amazon Web
middleware
Services.
application. Okay. So that is the thing. So data will be having in the separate stored only in the DB, and all the business logic will be there in the middleware applications. Okay, and where this middleware application would be installed, and again 99% all this middleware application is being installed only on this Unix based machines.
Unix. Okay.
Okay. So to access those things, again we need to be strong in the basics of Unix.
Okay.
Okay, right. So now moving on to the next. So this is the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 architecture.
So I have a question, Arun.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you said three tiers. I mean the difference also. But I have a question is like okay, for the large groups like large like Google or Facebook or something, they need tier 3. But what about the tier 1? Who will go for it for the tier 1?
Tier 1 is considered, okay, in the olden days, not in the olden days, even now consider your home is one your PC. You have a
So
PC.
now they are not.
No, no, it's not highly considered.
Okay, now people are using tier 3 only.
Yes, tier 3 and
Okay.
in small companies, people are using tier 3. So that's for something like in data entry, the ticketing system. You can say what the billing system. Sorry, within a supermarket. So there will be one server and there will be some 5
Okay.
See, actually here, I would like to say we have a good inventions at the greater sense, starting from the basics.
Okay.
So when we are discussing about a good invention, we should also know how it got evolved. So from the level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, something like that. Okay. Here, the next one, here we are going to have an introduction for this Linux here. Okay.
Okay.
Now, guys, as you know that you guys will be using the Windows machine, right?
Yes.
Windows machine very much. So in the Windows, can we split the OSs into client and the server? That is server operating system, client operating system, like this. Huh?
Through virtualization, we can do that, but it's not. I guess it's
No, no,
for
no,
the
no,
server.
no. I'm not going to that part, to virtualization or Hyper-V, something like that. So
Okay.
here, I'm just moving ahead with the what are the available client OS and what are the available
Okay.
server OS.
Okay.
Okay. So can you describe what are the available client OS in Windows?
I have no idea.
No, just generic. See here, I'm not something like a questioning.
So basic versions of Windows is there for all the clients, uh, but whereas particularly for the server, there is a Windows server available.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What are the client OS which is available for like for the
Professional something like
yeah,
changes.
correct. Professional Windows
Yeah,
professional.
home edition, professional edition.
Okay, see, I can say the Windows 7, Windows 8.
Oh,
So now we have
okay.
Windows 10, and previously we were having the XP, and
XP.
before XP we had 98. Okay, and before 95 we had 95. So these are the client OSs: Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows Professional, and all this. If you consider the server OS, okay, if you consider the server OS starting from Windows NT, okay, we had Windows 2000, we had Windows 2003
2003.
OS, we had
Okay.
2008 OS. So many people are working in Windows 2007, and just 2 months back they have released the 2016 OS.
Okay.
So these are the server OS which we have. Okay. So now, though now so for an example, again when I say I have some plenty of kind machines. So in all this OS, Windows 10 would be installed. Okay.
Okay.
Windows 10 would be installed, and there will be one server, and there will be one server. In that server, I can say they will be installing Windows 2016 to
60.
control all these clients. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so these are the available OSs in the Windows. Now come to the next part. Okay. So can you figure out any Linux flavored OSs?
There is only one Linux, I guess, but they have developed different
Yeah.
Ubuntu,
versions.
Yeah,
Ubuntu,
yeah, correct. Ubuntu,
CentOS, Red Hat,
correct. CentOS, Red Hat,
And Debian also there, I guess.
yeah,
and
Fine.
Yeah. Mm,
Okay. See, now, see, there are, I can say, the first was Unix. Okay. From Unix, we got the Linux. And from Linux, we have got all these OSs. Okay. The
mm,
Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, and the Unix. So we can say this is like something like a father, and we can say this is like a son. Okay. So now, see, only in the Linux we are having some 3000 plus OSs. We have 3000 plus the Linux flavors are there. So again, apart from that 3000 OSs, only few are familiar. This few are familiar means like few are only being used in the industry. Okay. So now here, see, Red Hat is a corporation. Red Hat is a corporation like a Microsoft. So here, this side we have the Microsoft, and here we have the Red Hat. So in the Red Hat, we have the RHEL product, that is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and we have the CentOS. Okay. So
okay.
here, See, whenever they are releasing any version of RHS, say 7 or 8 or something, they will be also releasing the same OS with the same features in the CentOS also. But here is the difference here is this is licensed and this is free. So
Oh,
from the Red Hat Corporation, like people running with a small business, that is the small scale firm, they will be they will be using the CentOS. And people with a large, and again people with a large data and everything what they are handling, they will be going with the license. And here the problem is, here in the RHCL, when we are using the RHCL, we will be getting the support from the will be getting support from the RHCL. And here for the CentOS, since it is free, there will be no support.
what kind of support we'll get it from Red Hat
Acha.
in a way?
Okay. Okay. Now, okay. Consider an real-time scenario. On a month basis, say for an example, in January, uh, okay, consider the month of January. The month of January is where the RHCL 7.1 has released. Okay,
Okay.
January 7.1 has released. Okay, the RHCL 7 was released in January. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
7.0, that is in January. In March, they are releasing a patch update that is 7.1. Okay, in 7
Okay.
point, the 7.2 is being released in the June month. Okay, so
Okay.
month by month they will be releasing their update version. In Windows, they used to call it as a service pack. Okay, and here in the Linux, they used to call it as a patch.
Okay.
But but but,
Yeah.
but the process is the same, but they will be using a different word. Okay. So here we can say, so when they are releasing a patch, so the RHC, when we are using the RHCL, will be get notified and we can able to download it at free. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And if anything goes wrong, now say for example, I have my setup. When I am upgrading from 7 to 7.1, I am facing some issues.
Mm.
Say for example, which some features will be available here. Now, say for example, the disk management, we have the LVM part. Okay, LVM part is working fine in 7 and LVM part is not working fine with my upgrade.
Okay.
See, consider we have an 9.1 iOS in our iPhone. Okay,
Mm.
and after that I am upgrading to 10.1.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can say my camera is not working after the upgrade. Okay,
Mm.
so to whom you will get the assistance?
Obviously, iPhone, I
Obviously
mean Apple.
from the Apple. So
Apple.
here the same
Yeah.
case, in the same case here we will go with the Red Hat. If you are
Oh,
using
okay.
the RHCL, if you are using a
Mm.
CentOS, if you are using a CentOS, you cannot get the support. They will not support since you have not paid for it.
Oh, yeah.
So that is the thing. If you know
Okay.
everything in Linux, if you know everything in Linux up to date, then you can go ahead with the CentOS.
Okay.
So that is the difference here, and now we are using the RHCL again for our lab. Fedora, there is another OS called as Fedora. Fedora is also a product from Red Hat, which is a desktop OS.
Oh, okay.
So these RHCL in the central OS, these are considered as the server OS.
Okay.
So this is a basic funda in how the OS are getting differed, what OS we are using, and how to use it with the license or the license. What will happen with license, what will happen without the license. And the license part will play a major role in the production environment. Okay. Now, get it on to the other. So So here I have listed some of the same examples. If you take the Linux flavors, you can consider the RSL 5 version, 6 version, 7 version, CentOS, Ubuntu, and the Mandarin. If you take the other Unix variables, okay, apart from the Linux, okay, in the market we have the product developed by the IBM called the Palladium Media. The product developed by the HP can be paid as HP unit, and we have Oracle Solar, Oracle Connect. Okay. So now, when you are strong in the basics of the Unix, okay, so very well you can able to work in any of this way. Okay. So 70% is the same. So 70% it will be the same across the all the words.
Okay.
Okay. So now consider an Unix architecture. Okay. So in this Unix architecture, what we can say here, and first, okay. So as a base, we will be having the hardware, right? As a base, we will be having the hardware. Hardware means like our processor, RAM, and everything. Okay. So what is the language which is being used to communicate with this hardware? Okay. So with this hardware, we are having a special programming which is called as a kernel. Okay. To read the hardware languages, okay, to read the hardware languages, we have the kernel. Okay.
Okay.
We have the kernel part. Okay. So now kernel will be communicating with the hardware. Now we have the users. So whatever the command which we are typing in, okay, which will not directly contact with the shell, which will not directly contact the shell. So between this user and the kernel, we have another parameter which is called as shell, which is called as shell here. Now consider this. The shell is something like we can say as an environment, okay, and the user is to give the input, okay. Now, so whatever the command which we are typing, now consider this way. I'm just logging into the server.
Okay.
Okay. So see here. Now I'm just executing some of the commands. So and a date, okay, and a calendar, okay, and I'm checking the Unix details. So when we are executing all those commands like this, okay, the first it will be first here when the user is giving some input, first it will be processed by the shell, and then through the shell it will be processed by the kernel. Okay, through the kernel, and the kernel will be sending the data again to the hardware, and again this will be done in the vice versa. So this is a small architecture which we will say. So the shell, we can say the shell is an interface between, can we say this is the interface between the kernel and the user? Okay, shell is an interface
Yes.
between the kernel and the user. Okay, and we can say shell again, the shell is the interface between the user and the kernel, and we can say kernel is the interface between the hardware and the shell. So in that way we can able to see in the shell we can in the shell we are having different types of shell. That is like a bash we have sh and tcsh and we have ksh. So there are different types of shell which we have available. So in this we need to use any one. While we are working on the Unix over here, while we are working on the Unix over here, we So here we are using this bash shell for this. So how we can able to find out on what shell we are working? So you can able to find it out by using a command called ps. So here you can see you can able to see. Okay. So here by using this command we can able to see which shell we are using. So currently we are using the bash shell. See here the different types of environment is something like so we have even in our mobile if you consider even in our mobile we will be having some profile settings like meeting can we say meeting or the media or something like that. Okay. So out of these profile, if you choose a meeting, if you choose a meeting, so everything will be okay. The volume will go in a silent mode. Okay. And if you choose the media, so all the media related application like the VLC, Windows Media Player, and the DJ application, everything will be on the top. Okay. And if I use an office profile, if I use an Office profile, all the Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, that will be on the top. Okay, so I can be choosing any one of this, but again here the base will be the same. The base OS, the base OS will be the same here.
Okay.
Okay, right. So here we will be choosing either meeting, media, or home or the office. So same as like that here we will be choosing either a bash or a SH or a TSH or the KKSH. So we will be using any of one shell basics to read the user input. Okay. So that is for today. So tomorrow we will be proceeding with this file system architecture. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me next about what we have done.
So